He was simply thirsty, so he ordered a glass of water. He didn't expect the owner to deliberately spit into it.
Did you spit in this? What?
After pushing the glass of water aside, he asked the owner to pour alcohol in front of him. The owner reluctantly served him while constantly mumbling racial insults at him.
Didn't you guys try to start your own country a while back? Wounded Knee? What happened there? Didn't you feel like being Americans anymore?
Not from there.
I'm not sure I want to serve alcohol to a man who doesn't want to be an American.
How about a man who did 3 tours in Vietnam who's got a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star?
Who, you?
Hansi left the money and walked out of the bar, but unexpectedly, some thugs in the bar also followed him outside.
Me, oh, my, oh. Where are you going, Geronimo? Huh?
You gonna grab your bow and arrow there?
I don't think his teepee's here.
No. We're talking to you, shitbird.
Is that a teepee?
Oh, shitbird's thirsty. Get a load of that.
Is he crying, Earl? I think he's crying. Huh?
Now, hold on.
Since shots had already been fired, the bar owner who had insulted him was unlikely to escape death.
Look, I called the cops.
When he walked out again, the police car had arrived. He calmly took the gun out of the vehicle and quickly and neatly resolved the trouble. He was the Gerhardt family's capable assassin. Whenever the family was in danger, he could always resolve it easily by himself. But now the Gerhardt family was facing unprecedented trouble. A gang from Kansas was targeting the family's business. They even planned to use violence to seize territory and completely wipe out the Gerhardt family. The head of the family, Otto Gerhardt, became so furious after learning about this that he clenched his teeth in rage and suddenly had a stroke. Now, all 3 of his sons were eyeing the position of running the gang. The eldest son had followed Otto since childhood to eliminate enemies, so he developed a violent and ruthless way of handling things. To interrogate someone, he did not hesitate to cut off the person's ear. In the end, the man bled to death without revealing anything. The second son was stable, wealthy, and filial to his parents, but neither diplomacy nor fighting were his strengths. The third son was useless, more like an errand boy in the gang. Because of this, the eldest son frequently looked down on him and trampled on him. Now, the major authority of the gang temporarily fell into the hands of the elderly mother.
Boss can't be a woman.
Who says?
Think about it. Mom's the one with ties to Winnipeg. History with Carter B. and the Saltkirk crew. Suppliers trust her. She'll be Mom.
Hell yes. I vote for Grandma.
Shut up. We're not voting. I'm oldest. I'm boss.
The mother advocated negotiating with the outside gang to resolve things peacefully, but the eldest son was determined to fight them to the death. At this critical moment, the third son had been missing for 2 days. Since the outside gang had sent assassins, the eldest son became worried, so he sent the Native American assassin to find the youngest brother as soon as possible.
Are you with me? Good. Bear's thrown in with Mama, that's his loss. Distributors will stand with me if I press, but we need rye, so when you find them, you bring them to me first, you understand? Not her, me.
But they did not know that the youngest son had already been dismembered. Going back 2 days earlier at a fast food restaurant, the youngest son was holding a gun and threatening a female judge. He didn't want to kill anyone. He only wanted to intimidate the judge to get what he wanted. But the judge's attitude was too arrogant. She was completely unafraid of his warning.
Son, you have 3 seconds to pick your ass up and get out of here, or I'm gonna squash you like a bug.
Okay, look, bitch. I know what to do.
God damn my eye! Now scram before I call the cops!
Oh, crap.
The judge, who had been shot but was still alive, suddenly fought back. The waitress staggered out the door, and he immediately chased after her. Killing someone for the first time, he was terrified, but everything happened too quickly and he couldn't stop. At this moment, a flying saucer appeared in the distance, observing the crime scene. After hovering for a moment, the saucer disappeared immediately. Suddenly, a car approached from behind. The driver stopped briefly after the accident and then took both the victim and the body away. At this time, the butcher from the meat shop had just finished his shift and returned home. His wife Peggy calmly prepared dinner for him. During the meal, Ed told his wife about his vision for the future. He wanted to buy the meat shop to become his own boss, then have a bunch of kids with her and live happily. But when she heard a noise coming from the garage, the wife intentionally spilled a glass of water to cover up the sound.
No, it's fine. I'm such a bumble sometimes.
What the heck?
I love you too, hon. So much. Maybe we should do it right now.
Here?
No, silly, in the bedroom. Come on.
Jeez, I better go see what that...
Feeling that something was wrong, Ed immediately opened the garage door.
What the...
Didn't I tell you? I kind of hit a deer.
Heck, hon, did you bring that deer home?
Ed turned on the flashlight and immediately saw a human figure. The youngest son, holding a knife, charged toward Ed. In a moment of panic, Ed quickly grabbed a gardening shovel and killed him.
You hit him with the car? You said a deer.
He immediately asked his wife why she didn't call the police, but Peggy, flustered and unable to explain herself, only said that she had been too terrified at the time and didn't know what to do, so she did nothing.
I was careful. I drove the back way all the way home.
Her explanation only confused her husband more. She completely ignored how serious the situation was, as if no one saw it, then it never happened. Ed wanted to call the police, but his wife immediately stopped him. She said she had already hit someone and fled, and now her husband had killed that person. If they went to the police, the beautiful future they had just envisioned would collapse.
Okay then, clean it up.
At the same time, the police had begun investigating the crime scene. Based on the skid marks, Officer Lou identified that another vehicle had appeared at that moment.
Why not take his own car?
Unclear at this time.
There's a shoe in that tree.
There sure is.
Time passed until the next day. Ed told his wife to go to work as usual, while he stayed home to erase evidence. She always dreamed of proving her worth. While working at the hair salon, she even subscribed to many magazines about success. The shop owner invited her to join a success seminar next week. The hotel had already been booked. Back to Ed. After wiping away the blood with cleaning chemicals, he also burned the youngest son's clothes, but he failed to notice a piece of metal that hadn't been burned completely. In another development, Officer Lou returned to investigate the scene again. His wife, waiting outside, accidentally discovered the youngest son's pistol.
Hon? Look at this.
Late at night, Ed parked his car across from the meat shop. After seeing the butcher shop owner close the store and leave, he also noticed that his wife had just finished her shift at the hair salon. Since she didn't have a car, the salon owner decided to drive Peggy home. When he was sure no one was on the road, Ed drove to the butcher shop. He dragged the stiff object from the trunk into the shop. After that, the salon owner brought Peggy home and used the excuse of going to the bathroom. There, she discovered the rolls of toilet paper that Peggy had stolen.
Oh, hey, you don't know what happened to all the TP, do you?
The what's that?
Had a case of TP in the back last week. Somebody took it. Jeez, what happened to your car?
Oh, no, it's nothing. Just a dust-up. Ed had a few too many last night and hit a tree.
Peggy, in a panic, immediately ordered her guests to leave. Meanwhile, Officer Lou's car stopped in front of the butcher shop. The knocking on the door startled Ed, causing a severed finger to fall.
Yeah, hear what happened?
The Waffle Hut, yeah.
Real mess.
The killer still at large?
Is he?
Yeah, we think so. Anyway, saw your light on. You know, Molly loves bacon for breakfast. I seem to remember we're out. So I thought, if you don't mind, pick some up. Be there when she woke up.
Yeah, sure. Come on in.
Luz was only there to buy some bacon for breakfast for his wife.
No, it's on the house.
Oh, no, let me...
A coin dropped and rolled next to the severed finger. Ed immediately leaned forward to block Luz's view. At that moment, the phone suddenly rang.
You gonna get that? Yeah.
Why is it taking so long?
Yeah, it's just, I'm almost done.
He only sighed in relief after seeing Luz leave. Based on the gun found at the scene, the police identified the killer as the youngest son of the Gerhardt family. Seeing the police chief bring the wanted notice to the hair salon, Peggy became tense. Luz's wife, who was getting her hair done there, also figured out the situation.
What if that's got something to do with the murders?
Something how?
Well, you said yourself the shooter left his vehicle behind, so I'm thinking, what if he walked out onto the road and got himself hit by a car?
Like a hit and run?
Yeah. I mean, you found glass in the road.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And skid marks. So I'm thinking, what if the killer goes after poor Denise, shoots her in the parking lot, and then inadvertently gets himself struck by a passing motorist?
Hey, Peg, didn't you say that?
I'm sorry, but that just don't make sense. I mean, how come the motorists don't stop if they hit a person? Run them over, I mean.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Peggy.
The police chief also agreed with Peggy's words, but this reminded her of something. Peggy immediately went to the butcher shop to call her husband home. The urgent matter was to deal with the car. Her idea was to have her husband drive the car into a big tree, then contact the insurance company for repairs, using the marks of the car losing control and hitting the tree to cover up the traces of hitting someone. On the other side, the Native American assassin had found a businessman. This man frequently did business with the youngest son. Unwilling to accept failure, he and the youngest son planned to import a batch of typewriters to get rich. But the businessman's capital had been frozen by the female judge, so under the businessman's instigation, the youngest son went to threaten the judge. But now that the businessman also had no news of him, the eldest son ordered that he be buried alive.
You're gonna drive down to that shithole Minnesota town, you're gonna bring my brother back tonight. Judge or no judge, if Kansas City gets in your way, if the cops get in your way, if anybody gets in your way, you kill him dead.
After receiving the order, Hanzi went to the fast food restaurant. There, he found a broken piece of headlight glass, then immediately went to the auto repair shop. This shard perfectly matched the broken headlight. Next, he discovered bloodstains in the car seat.
Help ya?
You know him, do you?
Oh, Ed, yeah. Yeah, he's the butcher. I mean, no. Never seen him before.
Butcher where?
Realizing he shouldn't reveal the owner's information, the mechanic instantly stopped talking.
Now you got me thinking you're up to some shady doings, mister. And, all right.
At this moment, the lawyer in the house stepped out. After revealing a pistol, Hanzi quietly left. Realizing something was wrong with Hanzi, the lawyer told the mechanic to report to the police immediately.
Peggy said garage door bidder in the back. But I found bits of wood in the bumper, so I'm not saying she's lying, but, well.
Thinking about Ed's strange attitude when buying meat, Luz suddenly understood. Hanzi drove a patrol car near the butcher shop just in time to see Ed and his wife. Meanwhile, the old mother had begun negotiating with the gang from outside. She planned to pay the Kansas gang $1 million and decided to concede 20% of their territory. But that gang did not budge.
Your counter has been rejected, and now we're lowering our price by $2 million. Because I respect you and your family, I'm going to give you the night to think it over. Anything other than unconditional surrender, and we'll wipe every last Gerhardt off the face of the earth.
That night, the Native American assassin sneaked into Ed's house. He sniffed the ground and saw the cleaning detergent nearby. Then he entered the house, rummaged through the ashes, and found the metal tag of the third son that had not been burned. Right at that moment, Officer Luz also arrived and sat in front of the door waiting for the couple to return. When the two came back, he got straight to the point.
That man you hit, his name was Gerhardt.
Hit a tree, we told you.
I mean, we were arguing, and Ed turned his head. It happened in a flash.
Gerhardt. And his family hurts people for money. And they're coming. Maybe you're already. And my point is, because I'm tired of talking, if you did something, you made a mistake, you panicked, you maybe covered it up, now's the time to say, right now. Because we can still fix this. But if I'm right, that window's closing and you may already be dead.
Ed wanted to tell the truth, but was cut off by his wife.
We want you to leave. No offense, but we're asking you to leave.
The Gerhardt family's assassin had found evidence that the youngest son had been harmed at Ed's house. The old mother could not believe that her youngest son had died at the hands of such an insignificant person.
He ran down in the street and finished off at a second location.
At this moment, the eldest son deliberately lied, saying that Ed was actually a hitman hired by the Kansas gang, and killing the youngest son was actually a tactic by the outside gang to take over their family. After hearing this, the mother became extremely furious. They had to take revenge on the Kansas gang immediately. At this time, the outside gang was casually hunting deer in the forest. The Gerhardt family's revenge came instantly. The Kansas gang's twin brothers bravely charged into battle. After they were dealing with the Gerhardt underlings, the Native American assassin quietly appeared. The twin brothers, one died, one was injured. The Native American assassin then decapitated the Kansas gang's negotiation representative. However, this was still not enough to ease their rage. Next, they would target Ed.
I want this butcher dead. In Laverne. No mercy.
The eldest son originally planned to send his subordinates to do it, but his nephew Charlie, the son of the second son, asked to join the fight. Charlie was born with a disability in one arm. The father only wanted his son to study properly and stay away from the gang, but Charlie always wanted to become a killer. He had once proven to his uncle that he could load and fire a gun with only one hand.
A Gerhardt. He killed a Gerhardt, so it should be one of us. A real boss would know that.
Seeing his nephew so determined, the eldest son agreed to let him go kill Ed. But for safety, he still sent a subordinate along.
Anything goes wrong, you fix it, you understand?
When they arrived at the butcher shop, Charlie became a bit nervous. He didn't know whether he should shoot the head or directly aim for the heart.
Don't overthink it. Just point and shoot. If he keeps moving, you shoot him again. Simple.
Charlie staggered into the butcher shop. At this moment, Ed was still cutting meat inside.
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear you.
Looking for the butcher. Blumquist.
The encounter between the young man and the girl at the butcher shop, the hesitation and shyness, immediately dispelled the tense atmosphere. Charlie almost forgot his mission until Ed appeared.
Sorry, was just in the middle of a hog.
He mustered all his courage to buy a kilo of meat and then went back. Meanwhile, Peggy had sold the car involved in the accident. She intended to use the money to fulfill her husband's ideal, which was to buy back the butcher shop and live happily. Back to Charlie, he called the family subordinate and told him to inform his father that he planned to study properly from now on. After all, killing someone really didn't suit him. But since he was already here, Charlie decided to finish the task before returning. This time, he was more determined. After locking the butcher shop, he quietly went inside. At the critical moment, the gun jammed. The previous shot had caused a fire in the shop. Now the subordinate who came with Charlie entered from the back to take responsibility for finishing things. Charlie was knocked unconscious by the ricocheted bullet. Ed survived and dropped the pistol of the scar-faced man. The two engaged in a hand-to-hand struggle, and the girl picked up a piece of pork leg to help. The flames grew stronger and stronger. Ed prepared to take the girl out.
Come on! No, he's still alive. Gotta take him. Okay.
Just like that, Ed pulled Charlie out and escaped from the butcher shop. The police were about to arrive, so he had to leave the scene immediately.
I saved the kid, didn't I?
Yeah.
And he shot first? Can you tell the cops that? And the big guy, he came at me and it was self-defense? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Ed, in panic, was preparing to flee with his wife. At this moment, the wife was about to tell him about the surprise she had prepared.
Ta-da! I sold the car.
What car?
My car. I went to the shop and Sonny, you know, he said how much he loved it, and so I know that I could have gotten more for it, but it's enough is what matters. Enough to buy the shop.
The shop burned down.
What?
And I killed another fella, maybe two. And Lou was right. They came. The other fella that you hit, his family, they came. So this is, that's great. You know, thank you. But we gotta go. You need to pack. Okay? Okay.
The two were about to leave when the police arrived again. Ed was taken for interrogation by Officer Luz. To prevent another gang attack, the sheriff stayed behind to protect Peggy. After learning that the eldest son had sent his own son to do the job, the second son became extremely angry and immediately hit him. Under the threat of the eldest son's subordinates, the second son finally stopped.
You've been asking for it for days.
Tell your man walk away.
Now it's
We'll
time.
see.
You're getting the belt, kid. Strap or buckle.
You think your belt was Dad's thing? You're
The
not
kid said he was ready. Said it should be family that pulls the trigger, which is true.
He's 17. He's got a crippled arm.
Now, see, I don't see that. I see heart and will. I see spirit. I see Grandpa after the war.
Just as the eldest son was about to teach his younger brother a lesson, the mother suddenly appeared and stopped him.
None of your bullshit! Not today. You'll kill us all. You split this family apart. Bring back my grandson. No excuses. I'll call up to Winnipeg, tell him he's coming. He can stay there till things cool down. You, while he's seeing to the boy, you take care of this butcher. He doesn't live through the night.
Already dead, believe me, just doesn't know it.
At this moment, the leader of the assassins from the outside gang received a phone call. The call was from the eldest son's daughter, Simon. Not only was she rebellious, but she also loved getting high and using illegal substances. Combined with her father's favoritism towards sons and frequent beatings and scolding, she had become a traitor collaborating with their enemies just to get a bit of drugs. Not only that, she even reported her father's and uncle's whereabouts to Mike and told him that he'd better kill her father.
He called me a whore.
Okay, baby. Any last message for your dad when I see him?
Tell him, kiss my grits.
The eldest son had already led people to Ed's house.
Hello. Help you fellows with something?
Hope so. Ed home?
Ed who? Oh, Ed. Yeah, you just missed him. Whole squad took him to the station about an hour ago. And that's the well-guarded and impenetrable police station on Hazel Lane. Which, don't let the name fool you, is a fortress.
Or maybe he's inside and you think I'm stupid.
Son, I could fill a steamer trunk with the amount of stupid I think you are, but no, that's where he went.
The sheriff tried to stop them, but the Native American assassin behind him knocked him out with the butt of his gun. The eldest son told the assassin to go to the police station to check, while he and two subordinates would take care of things here. They entered the basement where Peggy was hiding. 3 men against 1 woman. This seemed too easy. Unexpectedly, the eldest son accidentally shot his own man. Peggy seized the opportunity to attack him. At this moment, a lawyer stepped out from the police station. The number of officers there was insufficient. If the gang attacked with full force, they definitely wouldn't be able to hold out. Therefore, the lawyer decided to take a risk. He told the second son that he was actually the lawyer of his son.
As his lawyer, I gotta advise you of something, which is this. You're making it worse. He's a minor, see? Only 17, so reduced sentencing applies. And yes, witness puts a gun in his hand with a shot fired, but it's a miss. You understand? A miss, so even if they convict him, it's attempted at best. The maximum is 10 years. He's out in 5 for good behavior. Done. But this... You take him out of here now, and he's running the rest of his life. A wanted fugitive, shoot on sight.
At the same time, to protect Ed, Officer Luz helped him escape through the window. The second son felt the lawyer's words made sense. To protect his son, he could only lead his men away. The 2 of them fled into the forest and encountered the sheriff, who had just regained consciousness.
Oh, Christ, man, you look worse than me.
Smell better, maybe. No, don't tire yourself. We know where he's headed. Maybe you drive. I'm seeing double.
On the other side, Mike received the report and immediately led men to attack the Gerhardt family's hideout. After a shootout, the father of the family was shot and died from severe injuries. The old mother and Simon survived by luck. Therefore, the Gerhardt family also sent people to counterattack the Kansas gang's hideout. Fortunately, the gang leader was not present at the scene and escaped death. The boss scolded Mike for being ineffective and planned to send a new head assassin to replace him.
Yes, sir.
At this moment, the second son saw Simon near the hotel where Mike was staying and sensed something was wrong.
I was at a read. So I bought a dime bag from Packy. You know, with the,
He told them to put Simon in the car and drove her to a deserted area. Under the uncle's questioning, Simon admitted she was the traitor. She begged her uncle to give her another chance.
Please! Please! Please just banish me. Like you said, shave my head. Run me out. I'll go away and never...
It's already done.
The family was torn apart and in danger. His son was in prison, making the second son unable to hold back his tears. Meanwhile, the newly assigned assassin team had arrived at Mike's place.
Where's this eggplant that can't stop shitting the bed?
Gentlemen.
Time shifts back to the day before at Ed's place. The couple had taken the eldest son and were preparing to hide in a small cabin in the woods. Ed and his wife planned to use the eldest son as a hostage to negotiate with the Gerhardt family. As long as the Gerhardts agreed to stop hunting them, they would release him. Ed called the Gerhardt family from a nearby grocery store, but the person who answered was not someone with authority.
I got Dodd. Did you tell him that? Just tell him I'll call him back, okay?
At the same time, Peggy and the eldest son were not getting along.
You called me a whore. I heard.
I swear to Christ, when I'm free, you're gonna see the back of my hand.
We're gonna be spending some time together. So you need to be civil.
Go to hell. Ow! Bitch! Oh, bitch!
What did I just see? You gonna be nice?
Okay, all right. Oh.
Good.
When Ed returned, he saw injuries on the eldest son.
Did you stab the hostage?
Yes. No. Yes. I mean, I had to teach him some manners is all, if we're gonna be spending time together. And him so angry, when we're the ones who should be angry. I mean, when you get right down to it, it's our shop that burned down. Our house we had to leave behind.
She's crazy. Keep her away from me. Huh?
Ed said that if she stabbed him to death, the Gerhardt family would not negotiate with them. At night, Ed called again, but this time no one answered. On the other side, the Native American assassin had already sneaked into Ed's house. On the refrigerator, he saw a hotel reservation slip. It turned out Peggy had previously planned to attend a seminar with her boss, and that hotel was where Peggy and her boss were supposed to stay. Since she couldn't keep the appointment, Peggy had called the hotel. Originally, Ed didn't use the phone in the cabin because he feared the Gerhardt family would trace them. But now the assassin had followed this new clue to the hotel. Peggy said she was in trouble and couldn't go. Her boss said she planned to mail the seminar documents to Peggy and asked where she was.
I don't know exactly where we are. I think southwest, near Vermilion, the lake. It's a kind of cabin. I'll call you as soon as it's over, okay? I'll give you a call. Okay, bye.
I tried. You heard.
The boss didn't survive the night because the eldest son kept staring at the two of them. Therefore, Peggy also couldn't sleep well.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Hey. Ah.
Thanks, son.
God damn it.
The next day, Ed went to a phone booth to wait for news. At this moment, he noticed something in the newspaper. Since the Gerhardt family hadn't responded, he called the hotel where Mike was staying. Ed prepared to hand over the eldest son to Mike in exchange for safety.
Well, I got the whole Gerhardt family after me, and I need you to make them stop.
Well, then I think you and I can make a deal.
Well, that's good then.
And the exchange is set for 8 a.m. tomorrow at the roadside motel. But at this moment, Peggy was focused on the TV in the cabin and didn't notice that the eldest son had freed himself. When Ed returned, he saw signs of a struggle inside. Just like that, he was lifted off the ground by the eldest son, while his wife lay unconscious on the floor. The eldest son was about to torture them, but talked too much and failed to notice that Peggy had woken up behind him and grabbed a knife.
See? What did I tell you? No matter what you do to them, these goddamn twats just won't stop till you put them down.
After Peggy knocked the eldest son unconscious, she immediately grabbed an axe to rescue her husband. At the same time, the Gerhardt family's skilled Native American assassin had tracked them to the area. He entered a convenience store and asked the shop owner if he had seen a big, blonde man. The owner didn't want to talk at first, but under the assassin's threatening gaze, he finally said that the man might be in the cabin by the lake. After the assassin left, the shop owner noticed the wanted poster in the newspaper. At this moment, the couple was preparing to tie up the eldest son again when the assassin suddenly opened the door and appeared.
Step away from him now.
Oh, thank Christ. Get me out of here.
Sit down, both of you.
The two did not dare resist and obediently sat in the chairs. The assassin did not rush to rescue the eldest son.
Think you're getting a haircut.
Howdy.
Something professional. Shorter, like on the sides and back.
Well, I mean, you got the bone structure.
Jesus Christ, you mongrel. Just shoot these two and get me to a goddamn hospital.
The Native American assassin shot the eldest son dead, perhaps because he was tired of being the loyal dog of the family, or perhaps because he heard the eldest son insulting his origins.
Haircut. Can you do it?
Peggy, still shaken and terrified, agreed to cut his hair. She took out the scissors but wondered if she should make a move. Ed signaled to his wife not to act rashly. The assassin had no hostility toward them. In fact, he opened up to the couple.
Tired of this life.
Perhaps the shop owner had called the police. Officer Luz and others had arrived. The assassin quickly fired out the window. Peggy then stabbed him with the scissors. The 6 bullets were spent. The assassin was forced to retreat immediately, and the couple once again fell into police custody. Seeing Hansi appear again, the shop owner called the police. Unfortunately, he was shot in the head. Hansi used hydrogen peroxide and super glue to treat his wound in the bathroom, then immediately left. The case now involved multiple deaths and had crossed 2 states, so police forces were reinforced.
Blumquist, Mr. and Mrs.
Took flight from Minnesota 2 days past.
They don't look like much. You don't look like much.
We're realized.
Realized what? That you're up a tree without a paddle?
Ed said that he had originally planned to hand the Gerhardt family's eldest son over to the rival Kansas gang. This way, the outside gang would protect the couple from being hunted. Moreover, the plan had already produced results. The gang from outside town...
Sir, the motel.
Hearing this, the local sheriff ordered his men to continue taking advantage of the situation. They would wait for the outside gang to appear at the motel and arrest all of them at once. But Luz believed they shouldn't underestimate the outside gang and shouldn't risk the couple's lives. Young man, look around. Is it your turn to give orders?
Listen to me. They're gonna offer you a deal, okay? Don't take it. Tell them you want a lawyer. Make them take you into custody.
What do you care?
I'm responsible for you.
We don't need your conscience. You're half the reason we're in this mess.
Look, you're not ready for this.
Trooper, not another word.
You're not up to the task. This is a war. Don't you get it? I'm responsible for you, and you're breathing because of me. I can't just leave you behind.
Son! You're turfed. Now pack your shit and get out of here. Or my boys are gonna show you what a South Dakota necktie feels like.
I'm going. You've been lucky. That luck's gonna run out.
And just like that, Luz was kicked off the ambush team. The old sheriff did not dare underestimate the enemy and could only stay with the local police force to handle the case. After that, the police brought Ed and his wife to the roadside motel a day earlier than planned. But they did not know that the Native American assassin had already set up an ambush there. He then called the leader of the gang and said the eldest son was still alive.
Is he alive?
Yes, ma'am. They got him, but he's breathing.
Who's got him?
Kansas City, that Milligan fella. It's an ambush, Laverne. Butcher grabbed Dodd, fled the state.
Why?
Tracked him to a motel in Sioux Falls. They got numbers, but they're not expecting anything.
I'll be there in 3 hours.
No, ma'am. Send Barron a dozen men. We can bring him home.
Are you telling me what to do?
No. Just can't vouch for your safety is all.
3 times I sent men to do a job. 3 times they come back unfinished. I'll handle this myself.
Yes, ma'am. Will they waste too the devil's hours?
Why did the Native American assassin betray them? He had been raised since childhood by Otto, the head of the Gerhardt family. But now Otto had died in the gang's internal power struggle. His only spiritual support was gone, and the remaining family members only saw him as a tool. Meanwhile, Mike, the assassin of the Kansas gang, was also on his way to the motel. By nightfall, the entire Gerhardt family was about to arrive. At that moment, Luz was standing nearby and happened to notice police at the motel.
Motor motel, come in. Motor motel, this is Lou Solverson, they're coming, do you hear me? They're coming.
Because the exchange was supposed to happen the next day, the police inside the motel were extremely careless. They were asleep, drinking, playing cards, completely unprepared. Only the old sheriff remained cautious.
2 rooms upstairs, 3 down. Got Dodd on the bottom next to the office. 1 man on guard. Milligan's on the 2nd floor. Stay with Ma.
The second son told Hansi to stay and protect their mother, while he led the soldiers to attack.
No!
The The old sheriff resisted with his gun, and Peggy used the chaos to knock out the guard.
They're cops!
Hanzi immediately revealed his true nature and killed the woman with a knife. Seeing his mother harmed, the second son became furious. He turned to look at Luz, who had shot him. Even after being shot 3 times, he remained extremely aggressive. At that moment, the Native American assassin also rushed into the fight. He fired wildly, aiming to get upstairs and kill Ed and his wife. Luz was about to be strangled to death by the second son, but just then the UFO appeared again. Everyone was distracted by it. Luz seized the chance and fired a shot, killing his opponent.
Gotta make a break for it.
Are you seeing this?
It's just a flying saucer, Ed. We gotta go.
As the UFO was about to vanish, Hanzi immediately opened fire and chased after it. The roadside motel fell silent. Mike and his men arrived. Seeing that nearly the entire Gerhardt family had been wiped out, Mike excitedly left the scene. The couple tried to hijack a passerby's car, but the Native American assassin's bullet struck first. Then he fired again. Ed was shot in the back. The two ran into a convenience store. After driving the clerk away, they immediately hid in the freezer room. Ed, having been shot, was near death.
Peggy, I don't think we're gonna make it. You're always trying to fix everything. But sometimes nothing's broken. Everything's working just fine. If you can't see that, if you don't know that,
Ed,
I love you. I do. All I'm ever gonna want is to get back to what we had.
Ed began wanting to buy back the butcher shop, have children with his wife, and live happily. But because he spoiled and indulged his wife too much, they ended up like this. As every second passed, Ed lost his breath. After that, Peggy began hallucinating. She believed the Native American hitman was smoking them out to force them outside, so she grabbed a knife and prepared to fight to the death.
Peggy, it's okay. It's okay. It's me.
Where is he?
It's me.
Where is he?
It's okay.
I'll kill him.
No, he's gone.
No, you're lying to me. Where is he?
Husband's down.
No, you stay back. Where is he? Where's the idiot? Where is he? He tried to smoke us out, just like in the movie.
Peggy, there's no smoke.
No.
There's no smoke. We need to check on Ed.
He shot. He shot. I mean, where is he? He tried to light a fire, just like in the movie. Just like in the movie.
And sadly, she still believed her husband was alive.
Ed, come on, Ed. We're saved. Ed, they're here. We're rescued. Ed. Come on, Ed.
In the end, Luz took her to the car. Peggy, who had taken several lives, was about to face the punishment of the law. Hanzi found someone to forge identification papers for him so he could go to Libya. He was sick of everything and just wanted a new environment to start over. At that moment on the playground, 2 teenagers were communicating using sign language. They were the Hitman brothers from Fargo's first season. But as children, they were still being bullied. The Native American assassin saw this and stepped in to help. Meanwhile, since the Gerhardt family was wiped out, Mike confidently went to find the boss alone. But he didn't expect the boss to give him a cramped office with a typewriter inside. His future job was accounting assistant. Mike didn't understand why a hitman like him had ended up in this situation. The boss said the world had changed, the era of killing was over. As long as he could adapt, he would become a successful man. Someone will bring you some forms to fill out. Health insurance, pension. Just work with peace of mind. Mike stood still, looking around sarcastically. In the end, Luz and the old sheriff returned to their family. It turned out the old sheriff was actually Luz's father-in-law. Season 2 of Fargo ends in snowfall. Personally, I really enjoy the dark humor and absurd elements of this season. Thank you for watching the whole video. See you again in the next parts.